It's been interesting watching the production of Snow White these last couple of years because you can almost see it kind of coincide with the shift in Hollywood and the rhetoric that they have in regards to fans who are critical over some of the stuff that they're producing. Just a couple of years ago, it seemed to be a common tactic if you were critical over a movie or an actor being cast in it. The common talking point was you're just an ist and phobe. That was encapsulated with Rachel Zegler because she was saying some of that stuff in regards to people who were upset with her casting in Snow White just a couple of years ago. But since then, we've seen a lot of major movies and franchises fail who've been leaning into that sort of thing. So some of them are starting to kind of shy away from that. And now we're seeing that kind of with Rachel Zegler too in these latest statements that she made during this recent interview in the lead up to the upcoming Snow White release. Snow White's star Rachel Zegler does complete 180, now says backlash against her casting was the result of fan passion rather than misogyny. What an honor to be able to be a part of something that people are so passionate about. Now, just to defend Rachel Zegler a little bit here, I don't think she really cares one way or the other. I mean, I know she has her own opinions because she's spoken about them on social media, but I think for the most part, she's someone who is, just an actor. They'll do whatever people tell them to do, whether it's read the script on screen or just regurgitate some talking points from their publicist or other PR executives with the studio. It really does feel like that's what she was doing throughout the last couple of years. And now that things are kind of shifting and Disney is trying to shy away from being more divisive politically, she is now saying like, oh yeah, if you don't like it, it's not because you're just an ist and phobe. It's because you're just very passionate about Snow White and you're protective over it. Whether due to her own genuine development or stern talking to from the House of Mouse, star Rachel Zegler has completely reversed course on her previous assertions that the backlash against her casting as the titular lead of Disney's upcoming live-action Snow White was based wholly on misogyny, with the actress now claiming that the disappointed fans she wrote off were actually just passionate about something, a piece of art they truly loved. Yeah, she should have said that a couple of years ago. Right now, though, since she hasn't really given any indicator as to why she's changed her opinion, it really does feel like she's just trying to ignore the past and hope that everyone else forgets about it. But the internet doesn't forget. Zegler offered her new read on events while speaking to Vogue's Mexico's Fernanda Perez Sanchez for their upcoming March 2025 issue. The interview ostensibly arranged in service of promoting Disney's upcoming remake. So this isn't even necessarily a genuine interview. This is a puff piece, part of Disney's marketing. That's why it's being released in conjunction with the movie itself. And even then, when everything's set up for her to give the best interview possible and try to do a bunch of damage control that she's already created with the brand, I don't think they have done a very good job with this, or at least I think they could have done much better instead of just trying to ignore the past and create a new future for them. They're just trying, I think it would have been better suited if she tried to explain away her comments in the past, or at least clarify them a little bit. It probably wouldn't have gone over as well, but still, I think it's better than what they're currently doing. Asked by her host as to what exactly she hopes audiences to really perceive about her live action take on the animated classic, Zegler asserted it's really important for audiences to know that Disney has found this beautiful, delicate balance between taking the animated classic that everyone knows and loves from the 1937 and at the same time introducing it to this new generation. Now, I disagree with the whole idea that you need to update it for modern audiences. The original movie still holds up. I first saw it in the 90s as a kid. I didn't know it was an old movie. I just knew it was an animated movie. I think you can show the original Snow White to kids and they'll be just as receptive to it now as they did when it first came out. The only reason you would try to update it is if it's just a cash grab or you want to have a different message in it. And having a different message in it is something that I think a lot of people are rejecting. Even people who are otherwise more receptive to that sort of thing, a lot of longtime Disney fans might lean more left politically and might be open to the message that they're trying to push, but they don't want to see it in the Disney movie because it's not in line with the original one that they all know and love. Her superpower is her heart. There's no supernatural power that Snow White possesses beyond her love for humanity, for all living creatures, and her fundamental belief that there's goodness in everything, said the actress. That's something I really think the world could use more of. Now, that is kind of funny, her saying that, because it was just a few months ago. I got this pulled up, which is kind of in line with what's going on here. Because after Trump got elected, she made a post on social media basically saying that she hopes Trump and his supporters never know peace, and that how upset she is about that, and they should keep fighting against him and his supporters and things like that. And then she kind of ended it with saying, like, if you're a supporter of his, then don't follow me because I don't need your business. And it was soon after that, it really did feel like some PR executive at Disney got a hold of her and said, like, you need to apologize for this. So then she made this post on her Instagram account where it was an apology text, but it really didn't feel like it was something that she wrote personally. It really did feel like something a PR executive wrote, and then she just posted it, and that was kind of the end of it. And that was almost the beginning of this whole Rachel Zegler trying to do a 180 on a lot of the negativity surrounding her. But I really don't think like it's gonna work for her, because I think she's caused too much damage. Basically, spending years causing damage to not only your own personal image, but the brand that you represent can't be undone in just a couple months, no matter how many media outlets are supporting you. From there, Zegler was then pressed by her current thoughts on the aforementioned backlash to her casting, to which she declared, I interpret people's feelings about this film as passion for it, and what an honor to be able to be a part of something that people are so passionate about. We're not going to always going to have the same feelings as everyone around us, and all we can do is give our best, she added. Now, again, that's not a bad statement. It's just a couple years too late. Now, since this interview was a friendly interview and they're trying to help kind of salvage her image in the lead up to the release of this, I think what would have better been done is if they tried to find some way to explain some of the past statements that she's had, like asking her to clarify them or why she's changed her opinion. They could have come up with something, I think, that would have worked a lot better. But instead, they just try to act like it didn't happen. Now, I'm not saying that she couldn't have had a change of heart and her opinions can't have changed even in the last few months. But when you don't, if you can change your opinion and you don't have a reason for why you changed your opinion, like if I had a complete 180 opinion from a few months ago, I'd know why I changed my opinion and I would be able to explain myself. It does, since she's not doing that, it doesn't seem like she actually did have a change of heart. Either she didn't actually care about what she was saying in the past and she was just doing what she was told to say, or she doesn't care about what she's saying now. She's just doing what she's told to say. Or maybe she just cared about the past, or she was genuine in the past, but not now. The thing is, we don't know. And that's why I don't feel like this interview is really going to help her out. As noted above, Zegler's response to Sanchez's stands in stark contrast to her previous opinions that any and all negative feelings towards her casting was rooted not in a desire for artistic integrity or an exhaustion with performative representation, but rather critics' shared disdain for women, which has led to misinterpret her words. Quote, I've watched women get torn down my whole life, my whole career, said Zegler during an October 2024 interview with Variety. So literally just like a few months ago, like 5 months ago. We'll watch it in the election that's upcoming. We're going to witness that for a long time. I fear sometime it can feel like we're going back. It certainly felt that way when that was happening. And then the article just kind of goes on to more statements that she's made in the past, kind of in line with that. But again, there's really no reason why she's changed her opinions. This does feel like Disney is doing damage control because they understand a lot of the press surrounding her movie is not looking too good for them. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars on it, and it's something that we know that they spent because we've seen the disclosure statements. So this movie, they've invested over $300 million easily, up to $400 million on it. With that kind of budget, they need to make at least probably $1.2 billion at the global box office in order to just make their initial investment back. And it's really doubtful because with a lot of the press surrounding this and all the negativity that really does stem from her and her rhetoric since she's been cast, I don't see that happening. Maybe if they're lucky, $400 million, but we'll just have to wait and see when it's all said and done. But one thing is for sure, this movie is going to be a disaster for Disney. And a lot of that could be pretty much attributed to Rachel Zegler and some of the statements that she's made in the past. And regardless of what she's saying right now, I don't think it's going to be enough to salvage her image. maybe she understands that's not going to help this movie, but maybe she's thinking like, well, after this is over, if she kind of makes things right with the fan base, then maybe she can still have some career semblance afterwards. She might have to work up to it again, but I don't know. I think this is just kind of a desperate attempt, and that's what a lot of people are pointing out when it comes to this new interview with her. But let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. Do you think these statements are genuine? She actually did have a change of heart, or do you agree with me in that she's just saying this in order to try to, fix the damage that she caused? Comment below, and also if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share the video out there because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.